Imagine you're standing in the middle of a vast forest, not hundreds, not thousands, but millions of years ago. There are no cities, no roads, no farms, no restaurants, no bottles, no bars, only endless trees stretching beyond the horizon. The air is warm, birds sing overhead, insects buzz through the thick jungle. Somewhere nearby, a group of our ancient ancestors searches for food. They're hungry. Every meal is a challenge. Every day is about survival. As they wander through the forest, one of them notices something unusual. A pile of fruit lies beneath a tree. At first glance, it looks rotten. The fruit is soft. Its skin has begun to split. Tiny bubbles rise from the sugary juice. A strange smell fills the air. Sweet, but oddly sharp. Curious. The hungry ancestor picks up one of the fruits, takes a bite, waits. Then something unexpected happens. Minutes later, the world feels different. Their movements become clumsy. They feel strangely relaxed, maybe even happier. Without realizing it, they have just consumed alcohol, long before humans invented beer, long before wine, long before civilization itself. Nature may have already introduced our ancestors to one of the world's oldest intoxicating substances, but that raises an incredible question. Who was the first human to get drunk? Did someone accidentally invent alcohol, or has it always been hiding in nature, waiting to be discovered? The answer is far older and far stranger than most people realize. When most people think about alcohol, they imagine breweries, ancient taverns, or bottles of wine, but alcohol is much older than civilization. In fact, alcohol is older than humans, much older. Millions of years before the first human was born, tiny organisms called yeast were already living almost everywhere on Earth. Yeast is invisible to the naked eye, yet it performs one of nature's most fascinating chemical tricks. Whenever yeast finds sugar, it begins feeding. As it consumes the sugar, it produces two things: carbon dioxide and alcohol. This process is called fermentation. It happens naturally, without any human help. Whenever fruit becomes overripe, its skin breaks. Yeast lands on the fruit, the sugar begins fermenting. Within hours, that sweet fruit slowly transforms into a naturally alcoholic snack. This means that long before anyone learned to brew beer, the forests themselves were already producing alcohol. Every year, every season, completely free. Nature had become Earth's very first brewery, but humans weren't the first creatures to discover it. Believe it or not, wild animals still get drunk today. Elephants have been seen eating fermented fruit. Monkeys sometimes consume naturally fermented berries. Birds occasionally lose their balance after eating fermented fruit. Even insects experience the effects of alcohol. Although many stories about drunk animals are exaggerated, scientists have observed numerous species consuming naturally fermented foods. For them, it's simply another meal. They aren't searching for alcohol. They're searching for calories, and fermented fruit happens to contain plenty of energy. Now think about our ancient ancestors. Millions of years ago, they also survived by searching for fruit. They climbed trees, collected berries, gathered whatever food they could find. If monkeys still eat fermented fruit today, then it's highly likely our ancestors did exactly the same thing. Without realizing it, alcohol may have become part of the human story long before anyone understood what it was. But here's where things become even more fascinating. Scientists believe humans didn't just discover alcohol, our bodies may have evolved because of it. Imagine eating fermented fruit every few days, every month, for millions of years. Your body would constantly encounter small amounts of alcohol. Over time, individuals better able to process alcohol would have an advantage. They could eat more ripe fruit, gain more calories, and survive when food became scarce. This idea has become known as the Drunken Monkey Hypothesis. The hypothesis suggests that our primate ancestors evolved to detect the smell of alcohol because it often signaled ripe, energy-rich fruit. In other words, the smell that many adults associate with wine or beer today may have once helped our ancestors locate food. Even more incredible, the human body produces an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. Its job is to break down alcohol before it becomes dangerous. Research suggests that one version of this enzyme became much more efficient millions of years ago in our evolutionary ancestors. That timing has led some scientists to wonder, did evolution actually prepare humans to consume naturally fermented fruit? If that's true, then our relationship with alcohol didn't begin with civilization. It began deep inside ancient forests, long before humans built villages, long before farming, and long before written history. But eating naturally fermented fruit is one thing. Creating alcohol on purpose is something entirely different. So, when did humans stop finding alcohol and start making it? That question would change civilization forever. But this is only the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll discover how humans stopped finding alcohol and started making it. The invention of brewing would change history forever. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe to Curious Canvas.